Greetings, my future subjects. Welcome back to Advice with Dr. Slaughter. I was most disappointed with the turnout for this advice column. If I am to continue this show, I will have to complete work on my mind-altering parasites to compel you simpletons into seeking my aid. It's for your own good. Now, as for the two of you who did send to me, be grateful that I have deigned to take the time out of my busy schedule of planning world domination to give you the guidance you so need. This message comes to me from one identified as Someone Anonymous. Subject heading, Why so redundant? It reads, Foolish imbeciles? Really? Impudent swine! Truly, you are an imbecile, more foolish than other imbeciles. How else could I have expressed just how intellectually inferior you are when compared to my magnificence? Further proving my point, you seem to have misunderstood the purpose of my work here. It is to offer advice to those born without the clear vision and brilliance I was born with, not to trade barbs with the simpering baboons that the human race passes for these days. My advice to you is to enjoy what little brain activity you have, for the time will soon come when my cybernetic royal guards drag you before me, and I exact my punishment upon you. Now, on to the next query. This comes to us from one who is either called Jacob or Ziggy Q. He is most inconsistent about this. It reads, Dear Dr. Slaughter, I need advice about monologues. I work in a theater, and I don't know how to devise that perfect monologue for my work. How do you choose the right monologue? And how do you execute the right stage presence for the monologue? Another monologue topic on the supervillain side, how do you safely monologue and gloat to that oh-so-hated superhero without fear of ramifications? Thank you, Ziggy Q. Well, Mr. Q, as for the second part of your question, I will say that I will not be giving advice to the competition. The world is mine and mine alone. I don't need any young upstart would-be conquerors usurping my rightful place using my very own methods. But as for theater monologues, the road to self-improvement is a long and arduous one. It requires much self-discipline and dedication. Remember that you must be willing to make sacrifices for your art. And by sacrifices, I am of course referring to other people's lives. The first step on the road to self-improvement is to find a good acting coach. The second step is to determine the location of his family. The third step is to take his family hostage and assure this coach that they will be mercilessly disposed of should he fail to properly teach you the art of monologue. If he refuses, you may need to send him a piece of his child or spouse to ensure his cooperation. So make sure you stock up on well-kept bone saws and scalpels. How do you obtain those, you ask? Simple. You simply find a surgeon and take his family hostage until he delivers the necessary tools to you. If you are worried about the cops, simply take their families hostage. Depending on circumstances, you may need to take almost everyone in your area hostage. I find that mechanical drones can be quite helpful for this sort of thing. With this method, you should be delivering powerful and moving monologues in no time at all. Just remember to kill everyone and properly dispose of their corpses afterward. It wouldn't do to have any loose ends. For those who recognize my inherent superiority and came begging for advice, you are welcome, and you will be expected to pay me back at some point in the future when my plans come to fruition. And for those of you who foolishly thought you could solve your own problems without my aid, and are thus now floundering around like a chicken with its head dimensionally displaced and stranded in another universe, I know who you are, and if you do not send in your pleas for aid, I will send my armies of genetically enhanced prawn to devour all you hold dear. If you need advice on anything, send an email to drslaughteradvice@yahoo.com. The link is both on this very screen and in the description of the video. Until next time, future subjects.